This is Ask a Couples Counsellor, a show that answers all the relationship questions you're too afraid to ask. On the show, we'll take your questions and give you the tools you need to build trust and intimacy with your partner. I'm your host, Neha Kapoor. I'm a registered clinical counsellor and psychotherapist, and I'm really passionate about helping couples navigate the challenges that we all go through. Because after all, every relationship encounters some stormy weather now and then. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Ask a Couples Counsellor. Today's episode dives into one of the most tender, complicated spaces many of us face: the desire for parenthood tangled with timing, relationships, and the unknown. It's about hope held in frozen embryos, love that feels out of sync, and the courage it takes to choose our own path when life doesn't follow the script you imagined. From navigating IVF grief to the powerful reality of single parenting, we're holding space for all the messiness, the heartache, and the fierce love that comes with building family on your own terms. No filters, no easy answers, just honest, compassion, conversation for anyone standing at this crossroads. Let's get into it. Our first question for today comes from Zara in Sydney. Let's have a listen to Zara's question.
A few years ago, my partner and I froze embryos because we both want kids, but we weren't ready to have kids yet. We're in our late 30s now, and the clock is ticking to get pregnant. I'm ready, but he still isn't, and our relationship is not in a good place. How do we navigate this? If we split up, can I still use the embryos?
Zara, thank you so much for sharing something so deeply personal. First, I want to acknowledge the weight of what you're carrying, the hopes, the fears, the ticking clock, and the emotional complexity of not just your relationship, but the life that you imagined building together. Freezing embryos is such a profound act of hope and trust. It's a physical symbol of your desire to create life together, even in moments when you weren't fully ready. Now, years later, that hope is still very much alive in you, and yet your partner's readiness doesn't match yours. That gap is painful, and it's absolutely okay to feel frustrated, scared, or even alone in this. Navigating this requires deep care for yourself and clarity on what you truly want beyond the relationship itself. You need to ask yourself, what is non-negotiable for your future? Is having a child now something you're willing to pursue on your own if it comes to that? Because yes, in many places, if you and your partner are separated or divorced, there are legal ways to access and use those embryos, but it's not straightforward. This often depends on the agreements that you made at the time of freezing, local laws, and your partner's consent, which can sometimes become complicated. What you're really facing here is not just a question about embryos, but about your relationship, your dreams, and your timing. If your partner isn't ready and your relationship is strained, it's important to sit with that reality with kindness. What does your heart tell you about staying together, about moving forward alone? Sometimes couples find their way back to connection through these tough conversations. But other times, clarity comes from choosing your own path forward, even if it's different than you once imagined. Whatever you decide, remember that your desire to be a parent is valid and worthy of respect, including from yourself. You don't have to sacrifice your timeline or your emotional well-being waiting for someone else to catch up. And if you do choose to separate, there are ways to protect your rights and your hopes. But you will want to talk to a legal expert who specializes in reproductive law to make sure your choices are protected. Above all, this is your journey, and it's okay to lean into support, whether that's therapy, legal advice, or trusted friends, as you make decisions that honor your body, your heart, and your future. You do deserve clarity, kindness, and the freedom to move towards the life you want on your own terms. From my own journey as a parent and as a therapist, I understand how fiercely protective and tender this path is. Parenthood isn't just about biology or timing, it's about the love, presence, and commitment you bring every single day. It's messy, beautiful, challenging, and transformative all at once. You deserve to create your family in a way that feels authentic and joyful to you, even if it looks different to what you originally imagined. And remember, you're not alone in this. There is support and compassion available to help you navigate each step with strength and grace. Trust yourself. You have everything you need to build the family and life you long for. I hope that answers your question, Zara. Our second question for today comes from Peter and Victoria. Let's have a listen to Peter's question.
My wife and I are doing IVF at the moment to try and have a baby. We know that we can afford at most 2 rounds. Can you give me some advice on how to prepare ourselves if it doesn't work? How do we deal with that kind of grief?
Thank you for sharing this vulnerable space with me, Peter. Facing IVF is an emotional journey filled with hope, anticipation, and understandably, a lot of uncertainty. When you're investing not just financially, but emotionally, preparing yourself for all possible outcomes is essential. But it's okay to feel scared or overwhelmed by that. If IVF doesn't work, it's natural to grieve. Grief here isn't just about the loss of a pregnancy. It's about the dreams, the future you envisioned, and the hope that you held on to. So allowing yourself and your wife to feel that grief fully is an important part of healing. It's okay to be sad, angry, confused, or numb. These feelings don't mean you failed or that your desire to be parents is any less valid. Together, I would say, try to build a container of safety and openness where you can share your fears and feelings without judgment. Supporting each other through this vulnerability can deepen your connection, even in the hardest moments. In my experience as a parent and as a therapist, I've witnessed how grief and hope often coexist. Parenthood, in whatever form it takes, asks us to be gentle with ourselves and patient with the unfolding of life's timing. Sometimes new doors open that we didn't expect, and sometimes the journey itself teaches us profound things about love, resilience, and what family truly means. Whatever happens, remember you're not alone. Seek out support from those who understand this unique kind of loss, whether it's friends, a therapist, or a support group. And above all, be kind to yourself. You're navigating one of life's most tender passages, and every step you take is courageous. I hope that answers your question, Peter. Our last question for today comes from Ariana in Sydney. Let's have a listen to Ariana's question.
I've been single for 2 years since my last relationship, which ended because I was ready for kids and he wasn't. I've dated a bit since, but nothing really stuck. Would it be crazy for me to have a kid by myself?
Ariana, thank you so much for your courage in asking this. It's such a deeply personal crossroads. And I want you to know there's no judgment here, only compassion. Choosing to become a parent on your own isn't crazy at all. In fact, it's one of the bravest, most profound decisions anyone can make. I say this not just as a therapist, but as someone who has walked the path of single parenting myself. The journey is real. It's raw, it's challenging, and yes, sometimes it feels like you're standing on your own in a storm. But it's also filled with moments of incredible love, growth, and joy that stretch you in ways you never imagined possible. Being a single parent means owning your story and stepping fully into your power. Showing your child what strength, resilience, and unconditional love looks like. It means creating a family on your own terms, one built on your values and your capacity to give love, not on someone else's presence. It's okay to have fears. It's okay to wonder if you'll have enough time, energy, support. But what I've learned deeply is that love is never limited. It grows, it adapts, and it fills all the spaces you worry might be empty. If this feels right for you, listen to that truth. It's yours. And while the road may sometimes be tough, it's also one that can bring a richness and fulfillment unlike anything else. You're not alone in this. And whatever you decide, your heart and your courage are what will guide you. And that is more than enough. I hope that answers your question, Ariana. And before I go, I just want to say, whenever you're on the path to parenthood, grieving, hoping, deciding, or simply trying to breathe through it all, I want you to know this. Your story matters. Your longing matters. And the family you dream of creating, in whatever form it takes, is worthy. Sometimes the journey doesn't look like what we planned. Sometimes it asks more of us than we thought we had to give. But if there's one thing I've learned from my own path and from walking alongside many others, it's this: love finds a way, and so will you. Hold on to your truth. Let it guide you. And remember, you don't have to do this alone. I'm right here with you. All right, that's it for today. And before I go, if you have any burning questions you want answered, send them to novoempowercounselling@gmail.com. Let's navigate this journey together, because better relationships start with understanding. I can't wait to hear from you. You've been listening to Ask a Couples Counselor, a show that answers all the relationship questions you're too afraid to ask. This show is produced by Novo Empower Counselling. We provide a range of services, including couples counselling, individual counselling, and online counselling. To find out more, visit our website novoempowercounselling.com.au. This show was produced with strategy and production support from Wavelength Creative. To make sure you don't miss an episode of Ask a Couples Counselor, be sure to subscribe to or follow the show in your podcast app. And while you're there, I'd love it if you could leave me a 5-star review. It really helps others find the show. I'm your host, Neha Kapoor, and I'll see you in the next episode.